This week, join me to see what happens as I fly 26,000 miles.
That's a bin chicken, it's a bin chicken, it's a bin chicken.
On 25 flights.
Yeah, I'm absolutely bloody knackered now.
Visiting 12 countries in just 19 days.
I'm a little bit nervous.
As I take a whistle-stop trip around the globe.
Good morning, it is crazy early here in Texas. We're off on another trip.
Alright, so I thought I'd take you away on a little trip with me. We're going to see the whole thing behind the scenes from leaving now to when I get back in a couple of weeks' time. It's quite a mammoth trip. I was actually supposed to be setting off on this trip about 2 weeks ago after I got back from my London trip. Unfortunately, when I went to London to take those parcels over, well, I took the parcels to London and I came home with COVID from London City Airport, unfortunately. So I've been at home for the last couple of weeks recovering from that. Thankfully, they got me on Paxlovid and within a couple of days I was better, but obviously couldn't travel anywhere. So this trip's sort of been cut short a little bit off the beginning of it, but we're going to pick it up further on in the trip. So let's get down to the gate to get my flight down to Cancun, baby. So there's my first flight down to Cancun. I've just done a couple of cameos while I'm waiting for the plane. If you book a cameo with me, by the way, and I take a couple of days to do it, chances are, probably like I am today, I end up doing it when I'm at the airport, so I might leave it a day or two, so I can actually do it somewhere a little bit nicer, a bit more relevant than my own backyard.
Hi, good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good morning, how you doing?
Living in Houston, it's often cheaper for me to take my long-haul flights from Mexico instead of the US, and that was the case today. I just had to get a quick reward flight down to Cancun to get my flight onwards with Condor.
Thank you.
Alright then, Cancun, Mexico, first stop. Got another flight in about 4 hours now for the first one that we're filming for this trip, so let's head across. It's a terminal change as well, so I think we have to take a bus.
Time to start filming. Let's get the show on the road. Well, the weather's getting a little bit chilly down in Texas at the minute, so I've done what every true Texan does when the weather...
I actually really enjoyed my Condor flight. For a holiday airline, I found them pretty decent, and like all the flights in this video, I'll pop a link on the screen to the full video. I have to say, leaving the warmth of Texas and Mexico and landing in a snowy Frankfurt was a little bit of a shock to the system, but I didn't have too long to wait before my next flight. Alright, then made it to Frankfurt now. Time to go and finish this video, wrap it up outside, and then we'll go and check in for the next one.
Well, good morning and guten tag from a freezing cold Frankfurt airport. Gosh, I'm being reminded why I hate Frankfurt airport so much. Condor dropped me off into the other terminal, and Turkmenistan go from Terminal 2. I've been walking about 20 minutes now. So I have to admit, this next flight that I'm doing with Turkmenistan Airlines, I'm a little bit nervous because Turkmenistan, well, I've never flown on them. It's an airline I've wanted to fly for so long, yet it's such a secretive sort of country. I don't know what they're going to be like with filming and stuff like that, so I've got to be very careful with this one.
My next flight was on Turkmenistan Airlines, and I do have to say this was the strangest and scariest flight of the entire trip, through one of the most reclusive countries on the planet. I got told off for filming. I had to connect in an incredibly strange deserted airport, well, apart from the guards, and on the second flight a load of Turkmenistani diplomats were stood up drinking for the entire takeoff, despite Turkmenistan being a supposedly dry airline. The video's on YouTube if you've not seen it already, but let's just say I was incredibly pleased to be arriving into Bangkok after this flight was over.
There we go, that's done, that video. Not gonna lie, that was a pretty difficult video to do, between being told off by flight attendants for filming and the whole fact that everyone's watching you. It was just really sort of intense, that one. Anyway, we're off to find somewhere now to start the next video. I might go upstairs here. So I've got one more video to film today because we're off to Myanmar. Welcome to Bangkok, and today I am super excited because today I'm about to take a flight on the national airline of Myanmar. All right, time to get to the gate. I'm absolutely bloody knackered now. I feel like I'm literally just on fumes. But we will get through this. I've got about an hour and 20 minutes flight, and then however long it takes to get me to the hotel in Yangon. Then I can hopefully get some sleep. It's been 3 days since I've seen a bed, so it'd be quite nice to get a bit of rest. Now, I don't often go for 3 nights without a hotel on these trips, but on this one I did because I was still trying to play catch up after my stint with COVID. But my first Myanmar Airways flight I pretty much spent asleep, and then we landed into Yangon and I took a taxi to my hotel to try and finally get a good night's sleep.
Well, there we go. Made it to my hotel room. We're halfway through video number 3 now. This isn't bad actually, is a hotel room. This is like $100 a night for this. Look at this. Got like a bedroom area, there's like a sofa. We've got, if we come through here, we've got a bath. Oh, I'm so getting in that bath in a bit. Shower. Yeah, this is a very nice room, isn't it? This is the Pan Pacific Hotel here in Yangon. And normally when I'm on these trips I try and stay in like Hilton's and things because I get my points with them. Hilton's primarily Marriott's second choice, but in Yangon they don't have any of that, so it's a Pan Pacific, but it's quite nice. So I'm going to try and get a little bit of sleep tonight on this bed. Oh, you know what? It's the first time I've seen a bed in 3 days. Let's have a... Oh my goodness. Oh, that is so good. I could just fall asleep now, but I can't because in Texas it is currently about 5 o'clock in the morning, so I need to wait a couple of hours for Rach to get up so I can just let her know I'm here all right. And then, yeah, then I'll get some sleep. And then maybe I'll be a bit more fresh-faced in the morning. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to try and get a bit of rest. So, yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Good night. You know, I've had to take a break from editing this video because I'm finding it so interesting looking back how I can go from being incredibly tired, exhausted, absolutely knackered, jet lagged, really not feeling like doing anything, to then turning the camera on and then having my game face on and be all happy and jolly. And isn't that interesting that I don't actually see that while I'm filming it, but then as I'm doing the edit, I'm looking back and I'm going, wow, is that really what I do? And it just got me to thinking that that's what everybody does, isn't it? Everybody has their game face on when they see you in public, but underneath it, you don't know how they're feeling, and you can't tell that because they don't show you that bit, really. But really, we shouldn't have to have that game face versus reality mask on all the time, should we? And it doesn't just go for when you're traveling or filming videos or things like that. It goes for life in general, really. And I guess that's why I'm grateful to this week's video sponsor, BetterHelp. They've got a network of over 30,000 licensed therapists who you can talk to and help you work out all of these things that are going on inside. It's really, really easy to sign up. You just go on the website, answer a few questions, and pretty soon you're matched with a licensed therapist who you can talk to through online chat and even video chat as well. They've even got a live chat feature so you can go online anytime between your sessions and speak to your therapist through live chat and get support whenever you need it. And if you find out that things aren't particularly working with your therapist or you'd like to change to a different one, well, that's fine too. You can change it anytime with no obligation and no hard feelings either way. BetterHelp are offering you 10% off your first month when you use my promo code at betterhelp.com/Noel. That's betterhelp.com/NOEL. Well, good morning. I slept so unbelievably well. It's funny what 3 days of having no sleep does to you, isn't it? I literally went to sleep at sort of 7 o'clock last night, and the weirdest thing, I woke up at some point, my laptop was still playing the YouTube video that I was watching when I went to sleep, and I was like, where the hell am I? Where am I? What day is it? What am I doing? And I was genuinely like, I had no idea where I was. That's how it gets you sometimes. Like, what? Why am I in a bed watching John Oliver videos on YouTube in some random hotel room? While I'd like woken up from a coma or something? But no, then it sort of hit me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm filming at the minute. So yeah, that's how it gets you sometimes. Anyway, got me morning coffee, and they brought breakfast up to the room. They brought me breakfast up, which is pretty nice. That's quite good. I'm going to sit down, have some brekkie, and then we'll get on with filming today's section of the video. We're going back down to Singapore today on Myanmar Airways again, and then I've got a night there tonight, and then tomorrow we continue on to Indonesia, I think, tomorrow to do another airline. Oh, flip, and I've got to do this whole border crossing thing tomorrow as well in Singapore, which is going to be fun. So I don't even know how I'm going to do that yet, so I've got to sort of plan that bit now as well. But anyway, let's go and get this video started off for the day, and then get this breakfast eaten, and then we can go and crack on.
Alright, so we have just had our first schedule changes of the trip. Yay! So today I'm heading down to Singapore with Myanmar Airways again to finish that video off. Then my plan had been to get some sort of taxi or something across to Johor Bahru, which is the other side of Singapore. It's only like 30 miles away or something, but it's the other side of the city. But the problem is that it's in a different country because it's in Malaysia, which is across the border. And I was going to get a train across. I've just looked on to try and get my tickets and they're all fully booked and sold out tomorrow. So a car is going to cost me like 200 bucks from Singapore because they have to drive across an international border. Nightmare. So I've decided to book a flight. But obviously you can't get a flight directly from Singapore to Johor because it's literally 30 miles. So I've had to get a flight up to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia and then connect and then get back down to Johor Bahru with Air Asia. So that's an extra video that we'll be doing on this trip tomorrow. And then I had an email off Transnusa, who I'm flying with out of Johor Bahru with a connection in Jakarta down to Denpasar, Bali. Transnusa just emailed me and said that they've changed the schedule of the flight and it now leaves 2 hours later and doesn't get in until gone midnight. So that would have left me with like 5, 6 hours or something in a hotel to try and get a bit of rest, and I'm trying to get as much rest as I can. So I've decided that I'm going to try and book a different airline. So I've booked a flight with an airline called Super Airjet.
So I headed off to the airport then for my next flight with Myanmar Airways down to Singapore, which was a really nice flight. I got to fly on the Sky Angkor Airlines Airbus A320, which was a cool addition to the logbook. Got treated to a beautiful sunset along the way and touched down into Singapore for another night in a hotel.
Alright, well there's today done. Another video in the can. Myanmar Airways done. We're now on day 4 of like this 19-day trip. This is the Crown Plaza. I normally stay at the Yotel here in Singapore, which is inside the Jewel, but you don't get any windows or anything. And I fancied something a little bit different this time, so I thought, well, I'd stay at the Crown Plaza instead, and it's quite nice. 3 videos done, 15 more to go. Oh gosh. Good morning, it is day 5. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. The weirdest night's sleep ever. I sort of, you know when you have one of those nights when you go to sleep and it feels like you've been asleep for hours, and then you look at the clock and you wake up and look at the clock and it's like an hour later. That happened every hour overnight. Get my shoes on, get my bag packed. Let's get across to Terminal 4, Changi Airport, the one out in the middle of nowhere. Let's do this.
So for my Air Asia flight, I had to take a flight from Singapore up to Kuala Lumpur, change planes in KL, and then take another flight back with Air Asia down to Johor Bahru, about 30 miles away from where I started in the morning. They were actually pretty decent flights though, they didn't cost me a lot of money either, and pretty soon I was landing back in Johor Bahru for the next leg of the adventure.
Alright then, that's that video done. Air Asia finished back here at Johor Bahru. I'm going to go outside and start my next video now. Second one of 3 today. It's going to be really cool as well. We're on Transnusa next on the ARJ-21 Chinese built plane. Only one outside of China. Welcome to Johor Bahru Airport here in Malaysia, and I'm here today because I've got a flight on a really exciting and cool aircraft.
So my flight on the Transnusa ARJ-21 was probably my favourite flight from this trip. It was an absolutely incredible ride down to Jakarta in Indonesia.
Alright, there we go, that's that video done. I've now got to get from Terminal 3 to Terminal 1 here at Jakarta. Alright, that made it to Terminal 1. Let's head outside, start this next video. One more flight today, 3rd video of the day. Let's go and get it done. Welcome back to Jakarta in Indonesia. Oh, we made it to the gate anyway. We've not got much time actually to spare. We're boarding in about 20 minutes. It's been a long day.
It's fair to say my flight on Super Airjet wasn't the best one of the trip by a long way. The plane smelt terrible, it was jam-packed full, and I was absolutely worn out by this point.
Welcome to Bali. Last flight of the day done. That's how many flights today? 4 flights today. 3 videos. Knackered. See if I can get to the hotel. Alright then, made it. End of the day. What's that? 4 flights today, 3 videos done today. And I'm staying at this Avani hotel here in Bali. I'm trying to think where I am now. Bali. It's 10:30 at night. I left Singapore at I think I left the hotel at 5 o'clock this morning. It's now 10:30 at night. Just looking forward to getting in bed now. Well, good morning from beautiful Bali in Indonesia. It is now 7:45. My flight leaves in 2 hours and 49 minutes. And the airport's about a good 30-40 minute drive away, so I'm gonna have to get going. This is one of those sort of resort hotels where there's like a 20-minute walk to reception. Thank you very much. See you next time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good flight, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Oh, here goes Aero Dili. Hello. How are you?
So my flight today was down to the capital city of East Timor, Dili, on their national airline, Aero Dili. I do have to admit I didn't have great expectations for this flight after watching Josh Cahill's video, but actually they were really nice and I enjoyed my ride with them. We landed into Dili and I headed to my hotel on the outskirts of town.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, I have to admit, as places go, there ain't really a lot to do here in Dili. And it's not the nicest sort of area here either. It's like, this hotel's like on a beach that's just covered in trash. Yeah, it's miles away from anywhere. So I've just come to the little restaurant here at the hotel, ordered myself a curry for some tea, and I think I'm just going to stay here, really. I'm absolutely knackered still because obviously the last couple of days I've been doing nothing but travelling. So my plan is to get some food and then maybe go and get some sleep. There's no internet here either, and the phone service is slow as well, so I've got no internet. I might just go back to my room in a minute when I've had my dinner and I'll try and sleep. Or curry for my tea. It's a chicken rendang. I think it's an Indonesian. Sure it is. I've had it in Indonesia before, I think. Let's try it. That's for a curry. This is what I got. That's really nice. It's good, that is. Well, good morning from Dili in East Timor. It's time to say goodbye to East Timor this morning. I'm off to the airport because I've got my next flight down to Darwin. We had a massive badass storm last night. I thought the roof was going to blow off here. It was crazy. The power went out and everything. All right, bags are packed. Let's get down to the airport and say goodbye to East Timor. Well, good morning from Dili in East Timor. So thinking ahead to tomorrow, I've got a flight from Darwin down to Alice Springs. And then at the minute, as it stands, I've got a 6-hour connection in Alice Springs. There is a flight from Alice Springs at 1:20, and that's only like a 45-minute connection window or something in Alice Springs. So if my inbound flight is late, I thought it would be too late, but I just had a brainwave and thought, you know what? I've had a look on United, and you can actually get award flights from United Airlines with Virgin Australia, so I'm going to do that.
So my next flight then was with Qantas down to Darwin. I wasn't originally planning to film this flight, but I actually had second thoughts while I was on the ground in Dili.
So as you know, I wasn't actually going to record this flight and make it into a video, but you know what? I've just realised while waiting for the flight that this is actually quite a notable flight because it is Australia's shortest international flight and also the shortest international flight in Qantas's network, so that makes for quite an interesting video. So I'm rolling with it and I'm going to make a video out of this. It's quite an interesting route.
I do have to admit it did feel really good to be on the ground in Australia after my adventure across Indonesia and East Timor.
Oh, and here I was thinking Australia was in the middle of summer right now and it's absolutely miserable weather here in Darwin. Alright, made it to Darwin. Nice hotel room for the night. Certainly a little bit nicer than the one I had up in Dili, isn't it? And we have Wi-Fi and we have decent internet and everything. It's so cool. I'm going to spend the evening offloading some of this footage onto my laptop. I need to go online and schedule some videos on YouTube now I've actually got internet access. And I've just noticed what they've done to my bed. Look at that. They've made a crocodile look. Oh look, he's got little... That's wicked. Wow. Oh, that man alive, that's so cool. I don't want to move that now. Can I sleep around him, do you think? Love it. That is wicked. Well, good morning. One of the highlights of the trip today, which I'm quite looking forward to, I'm doing the Air North milk run today.
16th floor, going down.
Hi, good morning. All right, welcome to Darwin Airport.
So my ride down to Alice Springs was really cool. I really enjoyed riding on the Embraer turboprop across the outback and stopping in these tiny towns in the middle of nowhere, which is always really cool. We made it into Alice Springs, where it was just a case of seeing if I'd made my connection down to Adelaide.
Alright, then arrived into a sweltering hot Alice Springs. Fingers crossed my bag comes out pretty quick from down here. Yes. Right, bag's got, Virgin's just landed now. I've just heard it reverse thrust down the runway, so let's go get through security.
Thankfully, I made my connection onto Virgin Australia. I love flying on Virgin in Australia. They're really great at getting me around between videos. Let me know if you'd like me to make a full video about them at some point.
Alright, Adelaide. Pepper's Hotel in Adelaide, which is quite nice, really, isn't it? I've actually got a day off tomorrow. Tomorrow is a rest day, which I don't have too many of them on these trips, but tomorrow is, because I figured after a week of travel, considering we're now on Saturday, no, we're now on Friday, I've been travelling for a week now, non-stop every day. I thought that actually having a day off tomorrow might be quite nice, and I can sit and get some work done maybe. Alrighty, so it's Sunday morning now. I had an amazing day off here in Adelaide yesterday. Went and had an explore around this beautiful city. It's quite a nice little place actually. Today we're back on it again. We've got another trip today. We're on a train today across to Melbourne, and we're taking the overland train, which is about a 12-hour train ride or something like that.
Now, the overland train was pretty nice, but it was a long old day. I did make a video on this train, but to be completely honest, I wasn't entirely happy with how it came out. But let me know if you'd like to see it at some point, and I can get it edited and uploaded onto YouTube.
Alright then, 11 hours after I set foot onto this thing, we've arrived here into Southern Cross Station in Melbourne. Overland train, that was a long tedious day. It was nice to sit down for a long time actually, not have to stress too much about that train, but it was a bloody long train. That was 11 hours I was on that train today. It's not the longest train I'm going to be taking on this trip by a long stretch. Anyway, this is me, this is Melbourne, out my window, up here on the 19th floor. This is the Oaks Hotel. We do have a bit of an issue with this room because this is the outside door for the balcony, and as you can see, it can't be closed. I don't know if I want to sleep with the door open all night, if I'm completely honest. Okay, I've cooled down there. I'm going to move my room to a different room. Yay! So let's get all my bags together then. Could do without this after this long day, I tell you. All right then, let's try again. Move to a different room on the same floor but down the corridor. I've got a different view this time. There's my view this time. Out over Melbourne. And the door is shut. And it shuts all the way. Well, good morning from Melbourne, and it has not been the most relaxing night's sleep, I have to say. Not because I wasn't tired, because I was absolutely knackered last night, still am this morning, but mainly because we had drunk people come in at all hours of the night, whooping and hollering and shouting, all the way through till about 3-4 o'clock this morning, and now it's 8 o'clock in the morning and they've started drilling and doing construction work in the next room, which is fantastic. So yeah, if you're coming to Melbourne, don't bother with the Oaks Hotel, that's all I can say. So something I sometimes do when I stay in hotels, but not until I've actually slept in the bed, is actually take the sheets off the bed and have a look at what's underneath them. This isn't a hotel review channel, but this one's dreadful. And I'm not being funny, look at the state of this mattress, look. This is the mattress protector, by the way. We've got this here. I don't know if you can see that. That's just yellow stains there. But then if we lift this thing up, look at this, look. Oh, nice. Beautiful. This is what you get when you spend $200 a night on the Oaks Hotel in Melbourne. Don't stay here. It's a bit of a hole. So I'm heading off to try and find a Starbucks, which are like rocking horse poop here in Australia. The nearest one's like a half-mile walk from the hotel. And before everybody goes, oh, you know, Starbucks, it's all crap coffee, it might well be, but it's also one of the only places you can get quite a nice healthy breakfast, and you know what you're going to get. There's a ton of coffee shops here on like every street corner, and yeah, okay, the coffee's nice, but if you want breakfast, you're stuck with either pastry-based items like toast or bagels or muffins or pastries or danishes or things like that, and you just can't get like a nice little egg bite or a little protein box or something like that. So yeah, Starbucks it is, and you get a nice healthy workout walk on your way down there because it's like half a bloody mile away. Okay, we have a crisis situation. Even Starbucks over here don't do my egg bites that I like. It's just bakery stuff, pastries, croissants, Danishes, donuts, muffins. I've had to go for the best I could get, which was this, a yogurt and muesli pot, which I'll have to do. I have to say, Melbourne so far not exactly winning me over as a very nice place. It's a bit of a grim, dirty city. Yeah, I like Adelaide, that's nice. Sydney's nice. Brisbane's quite nice as well, but Melbourne, no, not a fan.
Thankfully, it was soon time to head to the airport, but unfortunately, it seemed I wouldn't be escaping Melbourne that easily.
Thank you very much. Do you ever have one of them days where you feel like you're in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm? Yeah, that's kind of what's happening today. I went to check out from my hotel, they could not find my booking on the system. And he said to me, are you sure you've been staying in this hotel? No, mate, I just decided to just go to a random hotel and try and check out of the hotel I wasn't even staying at. Anyway, then my Uber driver went to the wrong hotel across the road. He went to the Intercontinental, perhaps the one I should have stayed in hindsight. So I crossed the road to get over there. Their concierge guy opened the door for me to let me into the Uber, which was weird in itself because I hadn't even been staying there. And then after I'd got in the Uber, he opened the door again and asked me if he could have a selfie because his wife's a big fan and he wanted a picture with me, which is fair enough. But I was like, me, I've not even been staying in this hotel. Is this day going to get any weirder? I don't know. Let's go and check in to this nice little airport here in Essendon, in Melbourne. Let's go and get checked in for the flight. This is Essendon Airport here in Melbourne. A little airport. It's like a general aviation airport, and it really is tiny. There's just one airline I think flying from here. Sharp Airlines, who we're going to be flying on today. Alright, so this day gets even weirder. So I've got to the airport. They've got, even though there's 2 metro liners outside, they are only using one of them today. And the earlier flight, they should have gone to a place called Flanders Island.
Stupid Flanders.
Has been delayed because they've got a problem with the plane. That should have left at 11, it's now 1. They're saying now they've got to take that plane off to the hangar and go and get it fixed. Question is, do I stick around for this flight? I really want to ride on a metro liner today, but equally, do I really want to be sitting around for 6 hours on the off chance that I might get there today? Well, that answers that question then. I ain't going anywhere today on this flight because it's a separate aircraft that takes you down to the next destination anyway. So this is just going to make me miss that connection, and then clearly I'm stranded on King Island overnight, which I really don't want to do, and that would be a bad idea to go and get stuck on King Island, especially seeing as though I need to be in Sydney tomorrow. So I go to King Island tonight, I'm stuck there, no hotel, no flights out. What do I do? So I am going to cancel my flight back first. I'm going to get a flight credit for that flight, and I'm going to cancel that. And then I'm going to see about using that flight credit to get me a flight up to Sydney either tonight, which will be the preference because I don't really want to be stuck in Melbourne. It's only 2:30 in the afternoon, so I've got time to get up to Sydney tonight. I make a flight booking one way from Melbourne to Sydney, fly when? Now, in the next half an hour if we're able. Rachel's ringing on. Hey.
Hey, just a quick one.
Yes.
Have you had an email from Netflix from my dad's TV?
Oh, I've got important how to confirm your Netflix device. What's this one?
Yeah,
did you request to confirm?
You took him off and he's got to...
Oh, okay. So yes, accept this device.
Thank you.
No worries, sweetheart.
Thank you, he's come up on his TV now, thank you.
Alright darling, no worries. See you in a bit.
Alright, bye.
What stupid internet. I'm busting for a wee as well. That's going to have to wait. Sanitary concerns are not important right now. 553. I'm going to have to do it, aren't I, really? What's that, $300 US? Frequent traveller programme. British Airways. I might as well try and get some points, eh? Alright, that's booked. Right, let's get a taxi now or an Uber across to the other Melbourne airport. Alright, made it to Melbourne Airport, Qantas Terminal. Why is it every time I come to Melbourne something like this happens and I end up flying on an airline I hadn't planned to? Right, let's go and see if we can get checked in. Alright then, all checked in, and they gave me a window seat as well, the last one on the plane they managed to open up for me. So let's go and get through security because the plane leaves in about an hour from now. Yay! So my Curb Your Enthusiasm day seems to continue here at the Qantas Lounge. I've just been to the toilet, not that you needed to really know that. And there's a fully grown guy standing at the toilet with his trousers and his pants around his knees. having a wee. That is a sight I really wish I hadn't seen. I've managed to get a hotel in Sydney tonight, the one I was booked in from tomorrow, and now booked in from tonight and tomorrow night as well. So hotel's sorted, flight's sorted. Let's get to Sydney.
As I got on the plane, it seemed that my Larry David day wasn't quite over just yet.
All right, then made it on board. Cracking view out my window seat just here. Love it. Never mind. Doesn't really matter. We've got about an hour's flight up to Sydney. Let's get going. Sydney, a day earlier than expected.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say hi.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice
Oh, thank you. Cheers. That keeps happening. Australia is a massive country, and yet probably has the highest concentration of people who come up to me and say hi anywhere in the world, including in the UK. It's crazy. I love my Aussie fans though, they're awesome. Hello, Abdul. Hiya. How's it going? I'm good. I'm very good, thank you. All right, made it to Sydney again. 24 hours early, but I made it. And that does mean I've got a little bit of time off tomorrow. Flipping heck, I've had a lot of time off on this trip, aren't I? Not quite sure what I'm going to do tomorrow yet. Now I've got a day free. I'm thinking about going to meet my friend. I don't know how other than that, I'm not entirely sure. I'll have a think about it, and yeah, I will see you in the morning. Good night. All right, so it is now Wednesday. I had a fantastic day here in Sydney yesterday. I went over to see my friend on the other side of Sydney who emigrated from the UK sort of 12 years ago or so. I've not seen him since he moved over here, so that was fantastic to go and catch up. And today I am super excited because this is the highlight of the trip for me, this next video that I'm going to be making. It's Australia's longest train, and it goes from here in Sydney, which you can see out the window, all the way across Australia to Perth on the opposite coast on the Indian Ocean. It's a 4-day long train ride. It's one of the world's great train journeys. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. Well, a very good morning from the beautiful city of Sydney. Good morning, Justin. Hi, mate. How you doing?
So the Indian Pacific train was one of the things I was most looking forward to on this trip, a 4-day train journey from one side of Australia to the other.
All right, so I'm on the train. This is my home for the next 3 nights. Really been looking forward to this, not only because train is something I've wanted to do for so long, but also this marks the point where we're kind of on the last bit of the trip now, almost. So I put a picture on Instagram this morning of a bird that I saw in Sydney, this thing. Apparently it's called a bin chicken. And I tell you what, literally my inbox now is just full of people saying, that's a bin chicken, it's a bin chicken, it's a bin chicken. Okay, it's a bin chicken. But like, bin chicken, what on earth? Apparently because it roots through bins or something, it's called a bin chicken. So I'm using a bit of this time this afternoon as we sit here on this train outside looking out. Nothing, oh, I say nothing, there was a cow. There was a cow. You saw it with your own eyes. We just went past a cow. That is the first animal we've seen in about 5 hours when I saw a kangaroo go bouncing past. But I'm using this time of nothingness to chill and try and get a little bit of work done, and I'm editing at the minute. So I'm editing my Condor video, which was the first one obviously that we filmed on this trip, because that video goes live. I get back into Houston on Wednesday, and obviously this video goes live on the Sunday straight after that. So I'm getting this video edited now, so it's pretty much ready to go. I'm not going to do the voiceover yet because I'm on a train, so I'm going to do the voiceover when I get home and back in the studio with my proper mic set up and everything.
The next day of the train trip was just heading through more nothingness, and eventually the following day it was almost time to arrive into Perth.
Alright, so we're getting to the end of the Indian Pacific video now with the filming. I've been on this train for 4 days, basically living in a cupboard, which is this has been my room, and I've not slept really because it's just so bouncy. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, here we are then, an actual hotel, and yeah, nice actual bed. Oh, this bed. You know what? This bed is bigger than the cupboard I was staying in on the train. It's bigger than the entire room I was staying with on the train. Right, this train one is done. That's video number 12. Oh, lovely hotel room. I really enjoyed the train, absolutely. It's a bucket list item ticked off, it really is. But we're exhausting because you just don't sleep, that's the trouble. And I'm now in a position where I've got a flight up tomorrow to Paraburdu to film for the fly in, fly out operations they do up there for the mines. I don't know whether to do that, whether I've had enough time out in the middle of nowhere and I just want to continue on to New Zealand. Either way, I'm gonna get the same number of videos, I think, out of this trip. I don't know. I mean, I'll have a think about it. I'll have a look at the flight, see what's going on, and yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, then it's Sunday morning, off to Paraburdu today to film a video up there. Decided I was going to do it in the end because, well, it's an extra video, isn't it, to do? It's already booked. The weather's not too bad, so hopefully we should be getting up there. Just waiting for my Uber. We're going to get over to the airport and say goodbye to the lovely Pan Pacific Hotel because I think the next one's not quite as nice as this out in the middle of the sticks. But yeah, let's go and get this next video done. So the place I'm heading to today then, well, it's the sort of place where when you tell an Aussie that you go in there, the first words out of their mouth are, well, what the bloody hell do you want to go there for?
So I'm actually really pleased I decided to do the flight up to Paraburdu. It was a really nice trip up to the middle of nowhere. It was great to see it, and the video ended up doing quite well as well, which was pretty nice.
Thanks very much. Have a good day. See you later. Bye-bye. All right then, welcome to Paraburdu Airport here in the middle of the Pilbara in Western Australia. So this is the accommodation here. And this is basically what the mine workers sleep in. All right, so I've dropped my mining ute off back here at Paraburdu Airport.
So this is it then, my last domestic flight here in Australia. I've had an amazing time here the last couple of weeks. Got a flight tonight to NZ, tomorrow night in Queenstown, New Zealand, and then the day after that, it's time to go home. I'm pretty pleased with how it's gone so far. Just got the last little bit to do now. One last country before we get home. Let's get back down to Perth, civilization again. Thank you very much, guys. All right then, back in Perth from Paraburdu. That video's done. Got to get the terminal transfer bus now across to the international terminal. I've got about 5.5, 6 hours before my next flight leaves. Let's get to NZ. So the problem with that last flight is that it's the last flight of the morning. So I've got 6 hours until the flight goes, and I obviously can't check in yet. Actual hot food, which would be nice. I didn't have anything when I was up there. The snacks were with me, and that was all. But hey, fish and chips on the way. Yeah, you know, I had to have proper fish and chips at least one day when I was here in Australia. You don't get them in America, really. Not in Texas, anyway. They're really good. Welcome back to Perth in Western Australia. So I'd actually planned to try and get a bit of sleep on the flight across to Auckland with it being so long, but actually I managed no more than about an hour or two, which wasn't brilliant. On top of that, once we landed, the plane parked on the wrong parking stand and we had to be towed across the airport to another one, meaning my connection was looking really tight.
Now an hour and 40 minutes after we should have arrived. I don't think I'm making this next flight that leaves in 50 minutes from the other airport terminal here.
Once I left the international terminal, I had to run across Auckland Airport to the domestic terminal to try and get my next flight.
Holy crap, I actually made it. Wow.
So my next flight was just a positioning flight then down to Wellington at the bottom of the North Island of New Zealand. It was a really nice flight on Air NZ, and pretty soon we were touching down into Wellington International Airport.
All right then, made it to Wellington. I have no idea how I made that connection. Well, there we go. That's made that connection. That was very, very tight. Well, good morning from a beautiful, sunny Wellington in New Zealand. This does not happen very often.
So my flight on Sounds Air actually ended up being one of my favourite flights of the trip. It was really cool riding on a PC-12 across New Zealand. I took a flight down to Blenheim, had a little stopover in the tiny airport building there at Blenheim Airport, and then pretty soon I was back on board for the next flight, and they put me up on the flight deck in the first officer's seat, which was pretty awesome for the flight down to Christchurch. This doesn't happen very often where I get to ride up front, but trust me, when it does, I enjoy every single second of it.
Right, so there we go, that's that one done. I've literally just had an email from Air New Zealand to tell me that my flight to Queenstown has been cancelled. I'm supposed to be in Queenstown tonight, doing a helicopter tour tomorrow, which I've also had an email to say that's been cancelled because the weather's bad over there. I've managed to change my flight to Queenstown to be a flight to Auckland, so I've got to go back up to Auckland now, and then I need to find a hotel up there.
Alright then, heading up now, back to Auckland. It's been a really long day today. It literally feels like I started my day in Paraburdu, but obviously I had that flight in between where I got like 2 hours sleep, worn out, and I was a bit annoyed that I'm not able to do Queenstown actually, because that was one that I was really looking forward to doing. However, unfortunately, my flight out of Auckland tomorrow night is a flight that obviously I need to be on. It's my flight home. We're a video down as a result, unfortunately, but
And also it means I've missed seeing a bit of New Zealand that I really wanted to see, but it does mean I need to just come back and do it another point, really, that's all. I managed to get myself a hotel sorted at Auckland Airport tonight. There's a Pullman hotel there right on the airport, so literally I'm going to land, get to my hotel. I made it back to Auckland, where I was this morning, the exact same place where I ran through at 7 o'clock this morning. It's now 6:30 at night, 12 hours later. Been awake now for about 30 something hours, but not for much longer though, because my hotel is here at the airport. This is very fancy, isn't it, this hotel? 723. Oh. All right, Pullman Hotel, Auckland Airport. I have a view of the terminal building. Oh, there's an Air New Zealand 787 over there, look. And a Wamos A330 sticking up over the back there. But that doesn't matter. I'm not going to be doing much plane spotting here, I feel. You know what, actually? It's the last night of this trip, really, barring the night tomorrow night that I'm actually on the plane on the way home. And I don't think we've done too bad on this trip in terms of how much stuff's been ending up getting disrupted. I think we had that disruption at the beginning. What happened at the beginning? I can't even remember, it was that long ago. Oh yeah, that was when Transnusa changed my flight. So I had all those issues over there, and I had the issues down in Melbourne, of course, as well with Sharp Airlines, which caused me Tasmania a bit to go a bit awry. And then obviously today with Queenstown, that's not too bad really as a trip goes. And boy, am I looking forward to getting home. I'm going to go and try and get some sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night. It is time to go home today. I've had such a nice day today. I was looking actually at going out and doing a little flight here in Auckland. And then I sort of thought, you know what, let's just have a lay in bed and let's stay being lazy. And I've had such a lazy morning today. I've got a late checkout. I don't have to leave the hotel room till 3 o'clock this afternoon. I've literally been in bed all morning. I've had breakfast in bed. I've been laid watching TV, drinking coffee. It's been lovely. But it's time to see about heading back. Before I go though, I just thought I would show you a bit about the kit that I'm using on this trip, because it's just dawned on me that I've done this whole video and I've showed you travelling all around the world, but I've not actually showed you what I actually use. All right then, so first things first, the camera that I actually use to record everything on, and it is this thing that I'm going to show now. This is the DJI Action 4, which is pretty nice. It is a little action camera. I used to use the GoPro before to record, the GoPro 10 I think, but it's honestly, I found it so buggy. And the battery life was terrible. It kept overheating all the time. And yeah, I just bought the DJI Action 4 a few months ago now, and actually I fell in love with it. And I've got this like selfie stick thing as well, which sort of, it's bendy and stuff. I can clip it onto things. I can use it just as a tripod, or I can just hold it in my hand. It's pretty decent. I use my iPhone for a lot of filming as well. Anything that's not got my face in it. Typically I've got my iPhone, which is a 15 Pro Max. Thought it would be a bit big at first, but actually it's not too bad because I do have massive hands. My other camera I use is this thing, and you'll see this when I'm walking around the airport because it goes on my backpack and it basically clips on here. This is the GoPro 10. It used to be the one I used for my actual recording. Now it's my bag cam effectively. It goes over my shoulder like that, and then I just have this little clip. This is I don't know, it's a little clip that you can get off of Amazon, really easy. It just sort of clips onto my backpack like that. It's really handy. I'm going to replace this with a DJI soon though, I think, because I still have the same issues with this that I do with the GoPro that I used to have before. The battery dies on it constantly, overheats constantly. So many times it'll die at like 60%. It's just dreadful. My bag, by the way, Nomatic backpack. That thing's amazing. It's got so, I'm not going to show you all inside it because it's full of my crap, but yeah, amazing backpack by the way if you want to get that. Microphone situation, I use these bad boys here. This is a DJI Mic 2 and it comes in a little case like this. You actually get, if you open it up, this is a charging case, so it charges the mics on the go, and you get this thing. This is the receiver, but that you can clip, but I don't actually need it because with the DJI camera, these things Bluetooth straight to the camera, so I don't need a receiver. It's so handy. Don't have to worry about having extra bulk, extra cables. You get two of these little things in here. This is the other one, and it sits in there in case I ever want to use it through there, or you can just Bluetooth it straight away. Oh, and also the receiver, you can just connect via USB-C or Lightning as well, so you can use it on your phone if you record on your phone. Super, super cool. these little fluffy bits as well that go in the top of here to if you're on a windy day as well. Pretty cool. Battery packs, I use this. This is the Zendure Super Tank Pro, and it is flipping amazing. I've been using Zendure battery packs since I did the full flight videos back in 2017, 2018. I've always used Zendure. I did use Anchor once for a bit, but then Zendure sent me one to do a sponsorship with, and I actually fell in love with them, and I've bought every single one of them since. These things are just wicked. It's got 4 USB-Cs across the bottom here. It's got a display here that you can see how much battery is left in it. It shows you what everything's drawing. It shows you how much it's going in. It shows you how long until it's going to be fully charged. It's, what milliamp hour is this? 26,800 milliamp hour as well, so this goes for days. When I've done the Greyhound trips, things like that, I've used this. It's kept me phone charged for like a week. It's absolutely amazing, and it's got the fast charging on it as well, which means I can actually charge my laptop. And talking of my laptop, where's it gone? There it is. This is what I use for my editing. This is just my MacBook Pro. Just been a fan of Macs for a long time. They're just really, really cool, really handy, and I do all my editing on there. What else to show? Latest bit of kit I've got as well is my drone, and I've had a drone for a long while, the Mavic Air, the DJI, again DJI, Mavic Air I've had at home for ages. This is the DJI Mini Pro 4, Mini 4 Pro, Mini Pro, Pro 4 Mini, I don't know. It's the Mini anyway. It's 249 grams, which means you can travel around the world with it pretty much, and you do not need to get it registered and licensed in every country you go to, which is pretty decent. A lot of countries have restrictions if it's over 250 grams, which is why I got this one instead of the Mavic Air that I have at home, because the Mavic Air is a nice massive drone, but it's massive and it needs registering and everything, and the controller is basically that thing, and you just control it all. It goes for miles, and it's got a big screen all built in on it as well. It's all pretty cool. Batteries just sort of sit in there and you can charge them and what have you, and plug them in. It's brilliant piece of kit, and I've been using it quite a lot on this trip since I picked it up. I picked it up in Australia, down in Adelaide, so that was where I bought it, and then I've been using it ever since. Hope to be using it on many more adventures too. And well, yeah, that's pretty much it really. That's all my filming gear I use. Most of it's done, like I say, on this Action 4 or on my iPhone. I'll pop a link on the screen there, I think, just there, and that will effectively give you a link to everything that I've got and show you like links to it on Amazon and stuff like that. So if you click on that, you get to my website, see all the gear I've got, and yeah, anyway, I need to get all this gear back in its bag. We need to get over to the airport because it's time to go home.
Doors closing.
Well, good day from Auckland in New Zealand, the last point on my great tour down under. You know, I was just saying as well about having my GoPro. I'm fed up of now. Look what just happened in duty free. Picked up my second DJI camera now. Hopefully we'll get more footage and better footage from this, because it won't be dead all the time. So awesome. Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Mind your head as you step
Oh
in the
yeah, no
aircraft.
worries, thank you.
So then the last flight of the trip, Auckland, New Zealand to Houston, Texas, non-stop, and I have to say it is pretty good to be able to get a non-stop flight from New Zealand all the way home.
All right then, this is officially the last night of the trip. I'm going to try and get some sleep. I've got a really comfortable flatbed to lay in, nice little duvet. We've got about 11 hours left till we arrive into Houston, so yeah, should be hopefully, fingers crossed, a good night's sleep. Well, this is the best bit now of any trip. The last sort of 20 minutes of the last flight back into Houston, knowing full well that in about an hour and a half, probably, depending on traffic, I will be at home, probably in bed. This 19-day trip has effectively given me the videos to get through 4 months, which is pretty nice. So I get 4 months at home now with the family, which is time that you just can't beat really.
Welcome to Houston, everyone.
All right then, trip is completed. Back home in Texas. 12 countries and 26,000 miles flown on this trip, and 16 videos filmed. So that's 4 months worth of content now filmed for the channel, plus this one at the end, of course. Let me know what you thought to this. Would you like me to do these behind the scenes videos again for all the trips and show what it's like and all these kind of ins and outs in it and everything? Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm off to go and spend a bit of time at home. Next trip now is until 4 months from now. So I've got a nice bit of time at home now, with the family, chilling, working, getting stuff done. But yeah, it's going to be amazing. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, take care, be kind to one another, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.